Lindsay Lohan fully loaded, the mean girl behind bars. She turned herself in this morning, and now the jail term begins. 90 days in the big house, except in this case, 90 equals 14, and they say nobody gets celebrity treatment. Invasion of the body scanners coming soon to LAX. Full body scanners. Forget your privacy. We need security. But would you walk through one of these? You may not have a choice. A jack of all trades. You see that Porsche? What if I said you could have that for the price of an old cell phone? Well, it's true. A local teenager traded his way from a phone to a sports car, and he's with us tonight to tell us how he did it. All the stories people are talking about and everything you need to know right now on The Filter. Hello again off the top, The Filter forefront, our top four of the day, including, yes, invasion of the body scanners at LAX. But we'll begin with this. Former colleague of ours described the scene this morning. Awakened from sleep, she thought World War III had broken out in the middle of Los Angeles. She looked out the window to realize it wasn't war. It was only a group of helicopters overhead swarming to cover Lindsay Lohan's triumphant trip to jail. And so we let the Lohan watch begin. Lindsay Lohan, reported to court this morning, was quickly transported to the Century Regional Detention Facility in Linwood, where she will serve her 90-day sentence for violating her DUI probation. The judge said Lohan's sentence would not be reduced by house arrest. Or will it? A Sheriff's Department booking document reveals that Lindsay is expected to be released after just 14 days in prison. And so it seems it's Paris Hilton all over again. Another young actress will be released from prison early. Joining us tonight, our contributors, and it's Ron Kaye. Our pictures are furnished by Skype. Ron, thanks for being here. We appreciate it.
A pleasure.
You think Lohan is getting celebrity treatment for what she did, or was the 90-day sentence too stiff in the first place?
Jump, Lindsay, jump. It's like the bystander syndrome. We're all standing around waiting for her to crash and finally come to a terrible end. Poor girl. I mean, she just can't get anything right. Of course, there's an unequal justice system. Celebrities, the wealthy, people with great lawyers, people with any lawyer for that matter, get a very different kind of justice than people who don't have many means, even modest means. Lindsay Lohan is a star of some sort, I guess. But she's clearly getting, been treated special throughout her whole ordeal of all of her fiascos, of all of her violations, of all of her failure to obey court orders and the law. And it's not going to stop now. And if it does, she'll just go to Switzerland or something, I suppose. Go ahead, Fred.
No, I was going to say, when you were running the Daily News, now I know today we had 5 camera crews out there covering Lindsay Lohan, and they wanted to be at every exit, every entrance. They wanted to get that shot of her. And we committed an awful lot of money to getting a 5 or 10 second shot of Lindsay walking. When you were running the Daily News, how would you have approached this story? How many people would you have assigned to it?
Well, we don't have the same problem of a television camera crew, but you mostly would have photographers there. You'd have at least a couple. It's sick, but it's a competitive story. We all believe the public is interested, and numbers go up in circulation, street sales. I'm sure they go up on your overnight ratings when you have a celebrity, sexy, hot story. It's a whole industry today, and there's no avoiding it. The public has salacious tastes, and I think particularly now there's a bread and circus quality to the American culture. And it's a challenge to get to anybody to listen to, relatively serious issues, things that really matter in their lives. We've all trivialized ourselves.
Well, I'll tell you, there's a very serious issue going on here in Southern California. Let's talk about that. One of the poorest cities in Los Angeles County, but suddenly it's the focus of controversy that's become national news. Officials in the city of Bell make more money than any other city in L.A., more than probably anywhere in the country. It's time somebody answer the question, what the bell is going on? The city manager, Robert Rizzo, makes nearly $800,000 a year. That's almost twice the salary of the President of the United States. The police chief, more than $450,000. City council members make almost $100,000 a year. Are you kidding me? Last night, residents protested, demanding a recall of their city officials. But nothing happened. The city council simply said they'll look into it. Oddly, one council member who came on just last year makes only $8,000 a year. Something's fishy in the city of Bell, and it smells really, really bad. Ron, who should be held accountable here? What should happen to the officials in the city of Bell?
Well, you got to wonder where our public officials are, the DA, anybody who's supposed to provide oversight. Where's the public? I mean, this is so grotesque, such an awful thing. It's a city with 25% poverty rate. People don't have jobs. They're living in terrible conditions. And these people are looting the treasury and then being self-righteous about it as an entitlement because the city was in even worse shape before they came in and turned it into a business. But there's other cities as well, Vernon, industry, commerce. These are all cities that have been, small populations run like a business for the benefit of a handful of people who can get their hands on the treasury and the official seal of the city to be able to exploit it for their own benefit. I think there's got to be some law in there that they've broken to do it. And if not, does the governor not have the power? I mean, there must be somebody who can put an end to this kind of scandal. And, in the average person's mind, it all bleeds together. It bleeds together with the scandals in L.A. City Hall, in other towns around, the failure of our government in Sacramento and in Washington. I mean, the credibility of our government at every level is so badly damaged. And indeed, the only answer that I can figure out is the people of Bell are going to have to do something about it. And, that's the truth about democracy. If you want to be a victim, just sit on your hands and take it. But there are things people can do about it. And I hope, some of the people in this county and the city will come to their aid and help them put together a campaign. There's a lot of well-intentioned people who can help out and put the people of Bell and get freed from this kind of exploitation and scandal.
If I'm correct, the city council determines what people make there. So basically, I don't know if they've really broken any law. They determine what people get paid. Now, they're paying them way too much. But as you point out, I think it's a function of people sitting on their hands. Don't tell.
I think it's true, but it has to have been done in conformity with every aspect of the law. Open meetings, nothing hidden, and I would think they'd be vulnerable on the Brown Public Records and Public Meeting Act somewhere in what's happened there.
Well, we'll keep an eye on that.